The alert came through at 5:13 in the morning, a transaction notification from our joint checking account. $340 at a hotel I had never heard of. 40 minutes from our house. Daniel was in the shower. I stared at the screen and did not move. I never expected to be living a cheating revenge story. 11 years of marriage, a house with both our names on the deed, a joint account, a shared financial advisor, a life I thought we had built together. I closed the notification, told myself it was a billing error, a work trip he forgot to mention. But I checked the account again before I finished my coffee. The charge was posted. Confirmed. 11:43 p.m. on a Tuesday night when Daniel had told me he was at a late strategy session. I set my phone face down on the counter and said nothing. That week I started paying attention the way I used to review quarterly budgets at work. Line by line, 3 months of transactions. What I found didn't look like one mistake. Restaurant charges I didn't recognize, a jewelry purchase I had never seen, 2 more hotel stays. One of them on a weekend Daniel told me he was visiting his brother in Phoenix. I pulled up my own calendar and checked the dates. Then I screenshotted everything. My hands were shaking by the 4th hotel charge, but I kept going. There were more charges underneath those, smaller ones at first, decor purchases, delivery fees, all tied to an address that wasn't ours, then larger ones, a furniture deposit, lease services, utilities, internet installation. I clicked into the merchant details on one of the delivery charges. The address pulled up immediately. A small apartment complex, 40 minutes away. I sat there for a long moment. Then I went back and downloaded the full statement. Every transaction, every timestamp, every authorization tied to that address. Our savings had dropped by nearly $18,000. Every dollar had come from the joint account. He forgot the joint account recorded everything. I told myself I was overreacting. I sat with that for 2 full days. I tried to find another explanation. Then I found the second account. I was searching Daniel's desk for our homeowner's insurance documents when I found a savings account statement from a bank I didn't recognize. 8 months old. Balance, $47,000. He had opened it 2 years earlier. The deposits were small and irregular, a few hundred here, 1,000 there, timed to avoid triggering alerts. 26 months of quiet transfers out of our joint account. Never a single conversation. That night I pulled full statements going back 3 years and printed everything at the library the next morning. The pattern was unmistakable once I knew what I was looking for. Same dates each month. Same account ending in the same 4 digits. $47,000 moved in silence. I didn't call him. I made an appointment with a family law attorney. She went through the printed statements, the screenshots, the jewelry receipt I had tracked down by searching the charge amount and store name. She reviewed the hotel records I had requested directly from the credit card company. She looked at the apartment payments, the furniture invoices, the lease documents. 83 pages in total, organized by date. Then she looked up and asked if I knew about our mortgage. I said yes. We had refinanced 2 years ago, both names on everything. She told me Daniel had contacted a real estate attorney 6 weeks earlier about a property transfer. A colleague in her building had mentioned it. She wasn't certain it had been completed, but I needed to check the county recorder's office immediately. I drove there that afternoon. I requested the full ownership record for our address. The transfer had been initiated, a quitclaim deed drafted with only Daniel's name on the receiving end. My name had been removed from the document, but it had not been recorded yet. It was sitting in pending status, waiting on a final notarization step that hadn't happened. They forgot I would check. That was the mistake. The hotel charges, the hidden account, the apartment, the transferred money, all of it might have stayed buried longer. But a deed requires a county record, and that record showed exactly what he was planning before he finished doing it. He was moving the money and moving the house before asking for a divorce. So there would be less to divide. My attorney filed a lis pendens on the property that week. It flagged the house in the county system and blocked the transfer from completing. A formal notice went to Daniel's attorney, who apparently had not expected us to move that quickly. Before that filing, I had already opened a new bank account in my name and moved the remaining savings. Then I removed his debit card access from the joint account. The bank informed him his permissions had changed. He came home that evening and asked if something was wrong with the account. I told him the bank was updating access settings, which wasn't entirely untrue. I did not call Daniel. I did not send a message. I did not change my behavior at home for the next several days while the paperwork moved. He came home each evening and asked about my day. I answered him. He found out when the letter arrived. He walked into the kitchen holding the envelope with an expression I had never seen before, something between confusion and a calculation that wasn't adding up. He started to say something. I told him calmly that I had spoken with an attorney, that the property transfer had been blocked, and that the account records had been preserved. He stood there for a moment. Then he went upstairs, and I heard him on the phone. The divorce took 7 months. The $47,000 in the secondary account was treated as a marital asset and came back into the settlement. The hotel charges, apartment payments, and furniture invoices were documented as dissipation of marital funds, which shifted how the final numbers were calculated. I stayed in the house. The quitclaim deed had never been recorded. My name had never been removed. The house remained exactly what it had always been, mine as much as his. The morning after the settlement finalized, I sat at the kitchen table with my coffee and opened my bank account. One account. My name only. The balance was exactly what I had earned. The deed still had my name on it. It always had. The bank statement still showed where every dollar went. These stories don't always start with something dramatic. Sometimes they start with a $340 charge and a Tuesday night that didn't add up. And sometimes the person who built the secret life forgets the most basic thing, that a joint account is a record. Every transfer, every invoice, every payment to an address that wasn't home. It was all documented from the beginning. They just didn't think anyone was reading it.